everybody. Got a little midweek video for you. I want to show you a little something, tell you a quick story. This is my grandfather right here. He was in World War II in Korea, and this is a video for Veterans Day. I want you guys to get up, wash your asses, tie your shoes on, and go visit your loved ones. I mean, I never met my grandfather because he passed away in '68. My father was 9 years old, but it's a good thing to at least go spend a little time. So I had my old lady pack me a little lunch here, and figured I'd have a quick snack with the guy. Get dirt all over my nose. You know, I drive by here all the time, and I try to drive at least through and, you know, say a little prayer in my head. Whether you're religious or not, I really, you know, that doesn't matter to me, but it's nice to do these things every once in a while. So there's the old work truck. Just sit down and say a prayer and have something to eat, you know. Pay respect to your veterans, especially if they're in your family, you know. My grandmother's here too, so I get to hang out with her as well. So maybe you can see me. So here's a story about my grandfather. This is what was told to me. He received the Purple Heart in Korea. He was a medic, from what I understand, or what I've been told by my grandmother. My grandmother raised me, and my father. My mother was, you know, let's not get too personal, but my mom was a little messed up. So anyways, my grandfather was over in Korea, and from my understanding, he was in a foxhole tending to two men that were hurt, and an enemy came up and threw a grenade in his foxhole and blew my grandfather out of the foxhole with the grenade. Blew half his ass cheek off and a good portion of his thigh, and he was able to tourniquet himself and then got back in the hole with the guys that were in there with him and continued to help them, and I guess got them back to base or to camp or to safety. And that was a pretty big thing. And when he went to Korea, he was like in his 30s. He wasn't a young pup, from what I understand. 30s or 40s. You know, he already had kids and stuff, and he went over and did what he had to do. And he received the Purple Heart for it. You know, I mean, that guy is willing to lose half his fucking ass. I'm willing to take 10 minutes out and have a sandwich with him, you know. My father knew him, but, you know, he was 9. You know, how much of an assessment can you make of a man at 9 years old? You know, I mean, it was his father, but, you know, it's terrible that he didn't get to, you know, enjoy a lot of things like play baseball and have his dad watch and, you know, do all that stuff. So my father, he lives 200 miles away from here, so it's just the right thing to do. Sit down, have a sandwich, spend a little time with him, and tell a story about him, you know. I guess at like Thanksgiving or any time he went to family meetings, he had to wad up a pillow and stick it underneath the one side of his ass because he'd sit all crooked, you know. But my grandmother, she was a sweetheart. She raised me. She was a hell of a woman. She had 23 grandchildren and 28 great-grandchildren. She's probably got more now, but when she died in '99, she had that many. You know, that she raised children. She quit high school to raise her brothers and sisters because of the Great Depression. I learned a lot from that woman, and I'm extremely thankful that she was in my life. She was a pisser, for sure. 100% Irish. She was a great woman. My grandfather, his last name's Clement, you know, as mine is. But I did some research, and it turns out, even though he spoke a little French, and his father was French-speaking, and his grandfather was French-speaking, and they came from Manitoba, Canada, turns out they're not French. You know, I think about as much French as what I have in me is when I eat French fries. I did the DNA test, and it turns out I'm like 95 or 98% some Irish, and most of it comes from male lineage, which is crazy because my grandfather and their whole family, they were French speaking. Get with a MILF. They're awesome. I'll pack you a lunch. Doesn't matter if it's 3 in the morning. I'll pack you a lunch. But yeah, my grandfather was an Irishman, and my grandmother. It was funny because she used to always tell me, she goes, "You're an Irishman with a Frenchman's last name," which was absolutely true, and somehow she knew. But anyways, I'll finish my sandwich here. People are looking at me like I'm a weirdo. I'm going to finish my sandwich here and say a little prayer, but I wanted to let you guys know Happy Veterans Day, and thank you so much for the people that are serving, have served. Both my brothers served in the Navy. My father was in the Army. I believe he was in the reserves. My one brother, he's still serving right now. So, but yeah, Happy Veterans Day, everybody. Take 5 minutes. If you have family members, whether you knew them or not, go visit their grave. And if they're still alive, go see them. Say thank you. You know? But, all right, I'm going to finish my food. Happy Veterans Day, everybody.